What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. Wow, what the fuck?
What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on YouTube shit. Hey man, say man, we are Let that team turn. The motherfucker turn. So here now start big crip in the game. So here now start shit, man. Free Palestine, free Congo, Russia do your thing and Texas stand the fuck up. Each day is a new day to be a better version of yourself. Never let somebody bring you down, I'll stay back. Never let somebody tell you who you are, but also put yourself in a position you don't belong. Let's stay humble, let's get a revolution on the movement. Keep y'all in first. Come to your black Hebrew Israelite as a real Jew. We out here. Alright, boom. See? Motherfucker, straight here now start big crip in the gang. Straight here now start shit, man. Gang. Straight here now start shit, man. Turn. Hey, bro. So, we got Boosie, man. So we know what's been going on with the trial and what he's going down through. You know, we just running it down. You know what I'm saying? This video right here, you know what I'm saying? Boosie house almost got broken into, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Boosie house almost got broken into. His dog ran him off. If y'all know about Sean Taylor, he was with the Redskins, got popped in the home invasion. Thank God nothing happened to Boosie, but I don't know if that would have happened to Boosie. Boosie probably would have popped back. I don't know. And also, you know, his jail stuff. His ongoing beef with Charleston White. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how I feel about Charleston White. But at the end of the day, man, these are people's opinions. And let's get into it, man. So Boosie talk about somebody breaking into his mansion and his dog caught him. Boosie been going through some shit, nigga. When he famous, nigga, so much shit can happen. Damn.
Man,
What the hell?
What happened? I was out in Dallas, right? Doing this little show. Crowd was lit. We shut it down. I'm feeling good.
Damn.
Next thing I know, I get a call like, Boosie, somebody tried to break in the crib. I'm like, what? But listen, my King Corso caught that fool slipping. I'm talking about caught him, bit him up, ran him clean off the property.
Damn.
Big bro left blood on the gate. Straight warrior shit. That's why I don't do no little foo-foo dolls. I got soldiers walking on 4 legs. Man, let me tell you something. If I was at the house, Lord Jesus, I would have caught him, sat him down on the porch with that thing to his head like, now tell me why you here, bro. And I'm talking about live streaming. Boosie's backyard court. Make him explain himself to the internet. I don't play with my family. I don't play with my house, and I damn sure don't play when it come to loyalty. You try to violate that, ain't no police needed. You gonna wish the dog was the only thing that got you. Man, shout out my Corso Dundada.
Damn.
That's my dog for sure.
That motherfucker came in like
he got steak the next night. Filet mignon. Laid up like a king. That boy protected the house like I taught him. I don't even trust people like I trust my dog. He ain't barking for fun.
Damn.
Something ain't right. That man walked up wrong and got introduced to the Boosie security system.
Damn.
Fight first. Ask questions later. Hey, whoever that was,
fool,
you better count your blessings. God, a dog, and me not being there is the only reason you still breathing.
Damn.
Don't come around playing with Boosie badass, cause I ain't never been the one. Watch that though. Watch that though. Watch that though. Watch that though. Ain't nobody there. They good. Ain't nobody there. Ain't nobody there.
Damn. That's a good ass dog, bitch.
Damn. Man, fuck my pants up with the grease.
Got a little puppy.
Man, fuck my pants up.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
Gonna take them out to the dry cleaner. Damn, bitch, your dog just put in 81 to work, bitch.
Hey, black yeah. Black yeah.
My boy Boosie. Oh, you train them dogs hella good. I seen Boosie. And all them damn dogs, that nigga got, he got like almost 100 dogs, bitch. Got a whole background full of dogs, bitch. Look at the little dog. Hold that one turned to be like a big.
Stop getting jealous. Everybody I play with, you get jealous.
Jealous of my little kid.
I'm being jealous, Dundada.
You jealous of his own little kid. Look how stubby he is. Yeah, that dog ain't playing no damn games. But that nigga trying to break into Boosie mansion is insane.
What, man? What?
Damn. That's what happened to
You don't like me playing with
the Redskin
I don't care what kind of dog it is.
the Redskin player. They broke into his house and they killed that Redskin player. I forgot his name, Sean Taylor or some shit. Not Sean Taylor.
You see the other dog playing with me. He ain't finna leave now.
Redskin player killed in home invasion.
Dude, it's funny, bro.
Yeah, Sean Taylor.
I hate him.
That's what happened to Sean Taylor. Sean Taylor was a home invasion. They killed that nigga. They killed Sean Taylor. In the home, cause Sean Taylor was never at the crib. You know what I'm saying? He always on vacation and doing his stuff. You know, football and shit.
Man ain't even worried about you,
he
man.
was at the crib.
Stop hating,
they
man.
killed that nigga, bro. I'm glad Boosie wasn't at the crib and the dog was just, you know what I'm saying? That shit get real, nigga. Trip.
The man ain't worried about you, man. Stop hating, man.
His own little kid, bitch. He mad at his own little kid. He want attention. And he did his thing, though. That nigga, hey, big grizzly bear, bitch.
Fifi mess your face up, huh? You been fighting.
Gotta be.
Look at your face. You been fighting.
Damn.
Fifi got you, huh? Told you stop fighting, Fifi. Fifi gonna tear your ass up.
Damn.
Look at you.
Yeah, them girl dogs gonna be playing.
Stop going to that gate fighting. That's why I can't put y'all in the same house now. Pitbull got to your head.
Damn. That little dog love that shoe. Must be teasing or some shit. Fifi run the yard. Fifi gon' fuck around. Ooh, Fifi big boy, Fifi. Yeah, I know,
man.
man.
Ain't scared. They been beefing. They been beefing since they was children. Him and Fifi. They tear down everywhere they see.
Why though? Is it because of like this territory shit?
On site. I'm talking about they on site.
Damn.
Dundada and Fifi. They on site wherever they see each other.
Why? Is it territorial or is it
They
just
on
bad?
site. Telling you.
Hormones?
Fifi don't. Felix don't play.
Damn. Yeah, them big dogs, them things are crazy, bro.
He come jump on the couch and lay under me. Dog ain't even worried about you. Hey, my little, hey, my little G. Hey, boo boo. Hey. Let me see your bike. What you working with? Come on, what you working with?
Oh shit.
What you working with? Let me get that bike.
Oh shit.
You got that K Corso bike? Let me see if you got that bike.
Gonna be running off a bunch of more niggas. Hey, you train that dog well, Boosie. No cap, nigga, cause Nick go. They came out the cut.
Right there. Right there.
Shit crazy. Gang, let's don't talk about Boosie, man.
Even after taking a plea, Boosie has just been sentenced on firearm possession. And for the first time, it feels like there's no coming back. But the sentence, according to Boosie, he's being framed by the system. The fact that I was sentenced to third offense marijuana, 10 years? I was sentenced to 10 years. The system been let me down. Some say this all ties back to when he beat his death row case. Let me break it down. When keeping it real goes wrong, the streets are buzzing, the hood is in shock, and hip-hop just lost one of its realest soldiers, Torrance Ivy Hatch Jr., better known to the culture as Boosie Badass, just took a plea that might have him saying goodbye to the game forever. It's just a plea that I'm doing on August 26th. But real talk, to understand how we got here, we got to go back to where it all started, the grimy streets of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where young Torrance first picked up that mic and started spitting bars about the struggle. Boosie's legal history has been marked by several encounters with the justice system, and that criminal record would come back to haunt him in ways he never imagined. The foundation of all this drama got laid back in 08, when what should have been just another day in the hood turned into the beginning of a nightmare that's still going strong. On October 22nd, 2008, Boosie was arrested by East Baton Rouge Sheriff's deputies after authorities found marijuana and a Glock handgun in his vehicle. Now, any street dude knows that getting caught with weed in a piece ain't nothing new, but this was Boosie's third strike with the marijuana, and that made all the difference.
Oh, that's his third strike?
Difference in how the system was about to railroad him. Yeah.
Damn, that was his third strike with marijuana?
Fighting this thing for the
Why is marijuana so legal, bitch?
I've been fighting for.
But everybody take it. They usually eat for medical
3
shit.
years. Probably 3 years. The young rapper, who was just starting to blow up in the dirty South hip-hop scene, found himself caught up in the prison industrial complex that's been destroying black men for generations. Boosie pleaded guilty to the third offense marijuana possession charge on September 22nd, 2009. What happened next was some straight-up judicial fuckery. Judge Chip Moore initially hit him with a 2-year bid, but when they found out Boosie had violated his house arrest between the plea and sentencing, the judge doubled that shit to 4 years on November 9th, 2009. Now, it was a state case. The feds came, picked it up. They had a ruling in the Supreme Court that went in my favor, and the case got dropped by the judge. The case got dropped. But the system wasn't done trying to break this young black man from the projects. While he was already locked up, they decided to pile on even more charges that would keep him behind bars for damn near a decade. In 2011, while still behind bars, Boosie faced additional drug-related charges for attempting to smuggle drugs into prison. He pleaded guilty to these charges, which extended his sentence to 8 years. The rising star who had been making noise in the rap game suddenly found himself facing almost 10 years in the pen. The fact that I was sentenced to third offense marijuana, 10 years? I was sentenced to 10 years. The system been let me out. But the most serious shit was still
10 years for some marijuana
one of
is
the most
insane.
talked about murder cases in Louisiana's recent history. On June 17th,
But then you can shoot a nigga and get 10 years.
For the first time.
Yeah, you get 5 years to shoot a nigga.
The prosecution was trying to paint the picture that Boosie
You can
had
shoot a
hired
nigga and
Michael
get
Martin
5 years.
to handle his business.
You
Allegedly,
get 10
as part
years
of
for
some
weed.
murder for hire plot over territory beef. The stakes couldn't have been higher. If they convicted him, he was looking at the death penalty. I was sentenced to 10 for third offense marijuana. How you know if I'm drug addict if you never send me to rehab?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was sent straight to the pen. How am I, you know if I'm a drug addict if you've never offered me rehab? The prosecutors were trying to paint Boosie as some cold-blooded killer, suggesting he might have been connected to at least 5 other bodies, though they never had enough evidence.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, bitch.
The case became
10 years,
with
man, like,
prosecutors using everything from Boosie's
if you
rap
beat
lyrics to
somebody
phone records as so-called
and you get like assault,
187 inches in body bag, which he had recorded around the time
you get about 10 years.
were being dissected
Marijuana should not be 10 years.
with prosecutors claiming these weren't just bars, but actual confessions. Boosie entered a not guilty plea on June 28, 2010, in a Louisiana courtroom. His defense team went hard, arguing that the prosecution's whole case was built on the word of Michael Loudon, whose testimony was shakier than a crack house in an earthquake. The defense was so confident they didn't even call witnesses. They just rested their case, basically saying the prosecution had nothing solid. The tension in that Louisiana courtroom must have been thick as smoke in a trap house as 12 jurors deliberated on whether one of the South's most promising rap talents would live or die. The whole hip-hop community was holding its breath, knowing that a conviction wouldn't just end Boosie's career, but potentially his life. On May 11th, 2012, a jury acquitted Boosie of the murder charge after less than 10 minutes of deliberation. That quick decision showed everybody what many already knew. The prosecution's case was weaker than watered-down liquor. The acquittal was a Boosie and his people, but the damage was already done. Years of his prime.
This nigga calling these metaphors. This nigga comedian, bitch.
He was still locked up.
Look at this weaker than watered down liquor, bitch. That shit weak as hell, bitch.
2014, after serving approximately 5
That shit
years.
more flatter than bust on the tire, bitch.
Probably due to good behavior and some legal maneuvering. The experience had changed him forever.
That shit's more thicker than fucking bricks up in the back of a trunk, bitch.
Following his release, Boosie remained on parole until 2018, which meant he was still under the system's thumb with all kinds of restrictions and monitoring. But instead of being broken by what he'd been through, Boosie seemed hungrier than ever. He dove back into his music career like his life depended on it, dropping project after project and rebuilding his fan base. The comeback story became part of his legend. However, those old convictions were like a chain around his neck that he could never fully shake. Federal and state laws that stopped convicted felons from having straps would keep coming back to bite.
It's insane because he wasn't even a convicted felon.
2011 drug conviction amplifies the severity.
How a drug conviction get you felon when you don't smoking weed, bitch? That shouldn't be no felon.
The same script kept playing out in the years after his release. In 2019, Boosie was arrested in Noonan, Georgia during a traffic stop after a deputy observed a white Dodge Charger swerving and nearly sideswiping another vehicle. The familiar scene played out again. The officer smelled that sticky icky, searched the whip, found drugs and a loaded gun. But it was what happened on May 6, 2023 in San Diego, California that would set everything in motion for the legal drama that's now threatening to take Boosie away from the streets and his family indefinitely. The rapper had traveled to America's finest city to shoot a video and perform at a club in the Gaslamp Quarter. Just another routine business trip that would turn into his biggest legal nightmare since beating that murder case over a decade earlier. Social media snitching and federal pressure. The sun was setting over San Diego's Choice View neighborhood on May 6, 2023, when what should have been just another day of grinding and getting money for Boosie Badass turned into a federal case that would have the culture talking for years. The 42-year-old rapper from the Red Stick had rolled up to Southern California with big plans. He was supposed to shoot a video and perform that night at the Phantom Lounge and nightclub in the bougie Gaslamp Quarter, what the OG couldn't have. Predicted was that the boys in blue were already watching his every move, waiting for him to slip up. The irony of the whole situation was some real street shit. Boosie, who built his whole career on keeping 100 with his fans and never switching up, was doing exactly what made him authentic, sharing his real-time experiences on social media. According to court documents, San Diego police, while monitoring an Instagram live stream of a known neighborhood Crip gang member, observed a man, later identified as Boosie, with a black
They said the nigga who recorded was an informant
in a residential backyard. Real talk, in today's social media era, where rappers live their lives online for the fans, Boosie's natural instinct to show his followers what was really going on inadvertently gave the feds all the ammunition they needed to launch a major operation. The same transparency that made him beloved in the hood.
I fuck with Rap Daily, man.
Using an airborne law enforcement unit, basically a police chopper, authorities tracked him to a black SUV.
His voice don't sound too robotic. It's like it's real good as fuck. Like
multiple units, helicopter surveillance, and coordinated tracking, all focused on a rapper who was just in town to make some money and connect with his West Coast fan base. When they finally made their
I low-key thought this shit was like Chat GTB. Chat TV. What the fuck that shit called? But these niggas actually be talking. And they just transform their voices.
Finding those pieces set off a whole chain reaction that would dominate the next phase of Boosie's life. At first, the situation looked manageable from where Boosie was sitting. He faced state charges, including possession of a firearm by a felon, concealed carry in a vehicle, possession of ammunition by a prohibited person, and being an unlisted owner of a registered firearm. His lawyer, Megan Blanco, had let him know he was prepared to cop a plea to the state charges, with expectations.
He should got Brian Steele,
At first, it was a state case.
Get that Diddy lawyer.
The state case was dropped.
The thug lawyer,
He made sense from a street perspective. Boosie had learned from his previous legal battles that sometimes the smartest play is to take responsibility, work with the system, and keep it moving. His fans understood
low key, because like nigga, they'll drown your ass in legal fees and they'll ruin your life.
And quietly, then came the plot twist that nobody saw coming. On June 14th, 2023, the state charges were dismissed during a court appearance in San Diego County Superior Court. For a brief moment, it looked like Boosie had dodged another legal bullet. The relief must have been overwhelming. Another close call that he had somehow managed to navigate successfully. But that relief lasted about as long as a Newport in a crack house. Moments later,
that shit gone, bitch.
federal agents arrested Boosie outside the San Diego courthouse on a federal charge of being a felon in possession of a firearm based on the same May 6th incident. The ATF boys had taken over the case, citing federal laws that prohibit convicted felons from having straps. The shock of this development hit different. Boosie's attorneys, Megan Blanco and Damon Alamori, called the federal arrest very unusual, arguing it violated some Justice Department policy about not prosecuting the same cat twice for the same offense. They suggested that Boosie's outspokenness on social media and in his music about the criminal justice system might have influenced the federal pursuit.
They went appeal to Supreme Court. And they won on the Supreme Court ruling. Now it was back again.
The emotional toll was written all over his face.
So he went to the court and they went to the Supreme Court, and that's what fucked him up.
Letting his people know this felt like straight harassment. He even took to social media to apologize to his children, writing, "I want to take this time to apologize to my kids."
Yeah, because I want to be in prison, but his son gonna be with him. You think he gonna meet his son in prison with him?
Was clearly eating him alive. Boosie pleaded not guilty to the federal charges and was
Him
initially
and his son might be sharing the same jail cell.
A magistrate judge
Let's
granted
talk
him
about
bail
it.
on a $50,000 bond, later increased to $100,000. The conditions let him travel for shows, which provided some financial stability during this crazy period. But that federal case was hanging over his head like a storm cloud. For over a year, Boosie was living in legal purgatory, never knowing when the other shoe would drop. He kept touring, recording music, and maintaining his public image, but anybody close to him could see the stress was wearing him down. The uncertainty of potentially facing decades in federal prison was affecting every part of his life and career.
Could have appealed that, but that'll be 2-3 more years, and you know, I'm just.
That's what I'm saying. Just waste the money on. And then the police gonna be on your ass. Then you might get locked up for something else stupid. You know what I'm saying? You might as well just take what you can get and get the fuck out somewhere, bro.
2024, U.S. District Judge Kathy Ann Benchavengo dismissed the federal firearm possession charge, citing a Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals decision, United States v. Duarte, that found prohibiting nonviolent felons from owning guns unconstitutional under the Second Amendment. Since Boosie's prior convictions were for nonviolent drug offenses, his legal team successfully argued that he shouldn't be stripped of his gun rights based on this new precedent. The celebration was immediate and emotional. Boosie was crying tears of joy outside the courtroom, saying, "This situation made me see who was down with me and who wasn't. God had a different plan." He even posted a celebration video from the lazy river at San Diego's Sycuan Casino Resort, looking like he had finally put this chapter behind him once and for all. For cats who had followed Boosie's journey through decades of legal battles, this felt like the happy ending his story deserved. Here was a man who had survived the streets, beaten a murder charge, served his time, and was now being vindicated by the highest courts in the land. The redemption story seemed complete, but the federal prosecutors had other plans, and they weren't about to let this slide. The dismissal lasted less than 2 weeks before they came back swinging. Even harder. On July 19, 2024, U.S. Attorney Tara McGrath's office re-indicted Boosie on 2 counts. One for possession of a firearm by a felon in interstate commerce and a new charge of knowingly possessing a firearm while using or addicted to a controlled substance. The re-indictment was seeking forfeiture of all firearms and ammunition involved. And if convicted on both charges, Boosie could face up to 25 years in federal prison.
I was celebrating.
We were celebrating too early.
I was celebrating.
The emotional whiplash was devastating. 1 minute,
That's what they do, man.
His freedom and vindication. The next, he was facing even more serious charges.
Like, that's when you in jail, man.
Was raw and unfiltered.
And you wait on your court date, nigga. And you don't know what's gonna happen. And you think you're gonna win. And you send your ass back, nigga.
3 weeks later with
That's
my
most.
family. They say they just indicted you again. They added a charge, say I was a drug addict.
I think they were trying to use one of my interviews to justify that over something that you were talking about from like 10 years ago.
Glad is the 12, nigga.
Particularly grimy, as Boosie questioned why it wasn't included in the initial indictment.
Glad
The process
is
a
the
circus
12,
and
nigga.
alleging prosecutorial
Like
overreach. The
Mo
timing felt deliberately cruel. To let him celebrate his freedom, only to snatch it away again, with even harsher potential consequences, seemed designed to break his spirit completely. This was the moment when Boosie Badass realized this fight was bigger than him, bigger than his legal team, and potentially bigger than his ability to overcome through sheer determination and street smarts. The federal government had made it clear they weren't letting this case go, regardless of appellate court decisions or constitutional arguments. When the streets call it quits. By the the summer of 2025, Boosie Badass was a man fighting a war on multiple fronts, not just against the federal government, but against his own pride and the streets that raised him. The relentless legal pressure had worn him down like water on stone, affecting his spirit, his family, and his paper. For damn near 3 years, he'd been battling a case that kept evolving and getting worse every time he thought he'd found a way to beat it. The emotional and financial cost was becoming too much to bear. And the same cat who once declared he'd never fold was starting to realize that sometimes the realest thing you can do is know when to walk away from a fight.
That's a fact.
Win.
That's a
I
fact.
wasn't gonna go to trial with it.
Let us see another day, bitch.
I wasn't gonna go to trial with it from the dump actually, but I feel like this the right move for me. You know, I trust in God, Black. I mean.
The decision
Black.
high-powered attorneys or his street advisors. It came from the people who needed him most.
Yeah,
Conversations that must have been heart-wrenching for everyone.
yeah, I mean when Boosie's called Black Glad.
That sometimes the most
Nigga, the whole comment section used to be like, what the hell? Call that nigga Glad.
The case was over and I was going to get
The God is
on
a
with
black
my
man.
life.
Fact.
But God,
But he
don't make
said,
mistakes.
he
I'm
got
tired of
that
fighting.
Glad.
Talk to my family and this is the right decision.
On August 4th, 2025, Boosie announced on X that he had accepted a plea deal in the federal gun case. The announcement sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community and his massive fan base. This was the same dude who had fought the system tooth and nail for decades, who had beaten a murder charge.
Boosie be on low-key funny, nigga. This nigga used to call that nigga Black Glad.
Now he was throwing in the
What the
towel. But for
fuck?
those who really knew him, this wasn't strategic survival.
Stupid shit,
I'm asking
nigga.
for a fucking pardon. You taking your faith out. You taking your faith out of God. You ask God to put faith in a man.
His mother's wisdom couldn't be
Can't
ignored.
do it, bitch.
Stop asking a man. Stop asking people.
Fact.
So you know, I trust in God, man.
That's a
I mean, my prize ain't. I don't have no bad prize. I mean,
On August 26, 2025, Boosie formally pleaded guilty to one count of being a felon in possession of a firearm before a federal judge in San Diego. The courtroom scene was heavy with emotion, with Boosie's fiancé and family members there to support him through what might be one of the hardest moments of his life.
Now, Hatch, known as Boosie to his fans, now awaits sentencing. He's a father of 9 kids. His fiancé was with him in court today. So some background on this case.
The weight of his decision was evident in every word he spoke to
Yeah,
reporters
Boosie.
outside the
You
courthouse.
got this.
I just want to get it over with. You know, I set my guilty plea. I'm ready to get over it.
Anything you want to say to your fans?
Just say a prayer for him. I just need.
When the media pressed him about what he needed most from
Boosie,
his
pray
supporters,
for you,
his
man, that you
response
beat
was
it.
simple.
You beat
Showed
it,
his
man. You
vulnerability.
get out
Just
quick
say
and
a prayer
everything.
for him. I just need prayer. I don't need nothing else. Yeah.
The charge carries a maximum penalty of 15 years in prison, though federal prosecutors agreed to drop the second firearm charge related to drug use and recommend a 2-year prison sentence as part of the plea agreement. The deal also includes a
Damn,
recommendation for 3 years of supervised release following any
When
prison.
Boosie go to jail, that shit gonna be
Prosecutors agreed
go
not
to prison. That shit gonna be
financial
crazy.
penalties, citing Boosie's
You know what I'm
limited
saying?
financial prospects. The details of the plea agreement.
That shit gonna suck when Boosie go to prison, man.
Crime that triggered federal
You know what I'm saying?
jurisdiction.
Unless he go on the run.
Prosecutors disclosed that Boosie had
If Boosie go
purchased
to 10K, nigga, we up.
handguns in Georgia and transported them to San Diego.
Please, Boosie go to
via a
10K.
his arrest. This detail satisfied the
Boosie, don't do the 10K. Don't do the run, man.
State crime.
You know what I'm saying?
Interstate commerce element that made it a federal rather than state crime.
And the plea deal, that they throwing that out.
Okay, they threw that out.
And Hatch currently lives in Atlanta. Now, he faces a maximum of 15 years behind bars. His defense attorney did not disclose any parts of the plea agreement or any details about it, but the judge made it very clear today, regardless of what's in that plea agreement, it is the sentencing judge who will have the final say.
But for all the legal technicalities and plea negotiations, the human cost of this whole saga.
But it's
can't
some
be
hard
measured in
ass
years or
beats,
dollars.
nigga. I'm
Boosie's
telling you,
attorney,
these niggas
Megan
are beats,
Blanco,
man.
emphasized the personal toll while expressing cautious optimism about the sentencing outcome. She highlighted Boosie's community involvement.
So this is lawyer, right?
I am optimistic for Mr. Hatch. He wanted nothing more than to accept responsibility and put this behind him. And now it's my job to make sure the court understands the scope of the case and what the case is really about.
Now it's my job to make sure the court understands the scope of the case and what the case is really about. And more importantly, all of the amazing things that Mr. Hatch has done for the community, continues to do, and the amazing things that he will
But they
do
trying to sue him in
going forward.
Louisiana. That shit
Timing of the
crazy.
sentencing adds another layer of tragedy to the this story. The sentencing hearing is scheduled for November 21st, 2025, which falls just days after.
Damn, it's about to be November, man.
43-year-old father of 9.
Damn, it's about to be November.
During what should be a time of celebration, instead facing the possibility of spending
Still in
his
October,
prime
though.
years locked up in federal prison. Despite all the uncertainty, Boosie has continued to grind and perform while free on his $100,000 bond.
I'm gonna be at every show, of course. I mean,
He assured his fans, breaking down the timeline of federal court proceedings.
that ain't how I go in Fed court.
He might get out in 2 years, man.
Once you take a plea, your sentencing ain't till 2-3 months after that. So I'm gonna be
The resilience he's shown
He might
throughout this
get out in 2 years, man. A year maybe.
Even
Who
while
knows?
facing the possibility of
They gave him like what,
arrest
2,
again,
3,
he's
5
maintained his
years?
performance schedule
He might
and
get out in like
pushing
2
his
years,
music.
man.
His
1 year.
album Words of a Real One was released
good
on August
behavior.
1st, 2025, just days before his guilty plea, showing his commitment to his craft even in the darkest times. However, not everybody in the hip-hop community has shown love during this difficult period. The most vocal hater has been Charleston White, a controversial
Charleston White is a hater, nigga. I can't stand that nigga, bro.
Clout chasing and straight disrespect.
Yeah. It's like some of his shit he be saying, like, be helping the black people, but this nigga's a coon, nigga. Like, he's a certified hater, nigga.
White's
But I understand it, you know what I'm saying? Don't hate the play, hate the game. Cause he can't get that bag off this shit, but it's like, bro, you look like a fool.
Where you gonna serve it in jail?
Charleston White publicly expressed hope that Boosie would die in jail,
That's
demonstrating
crazy.
the personal beef that has developed between these two figures. But for every voice of hate, there have been countless more showing love and understanding for Boosie's situation. His decision to take the plea deal has been
But I understand Charleston White, that's his whole get up, his stick, his, you know what I'm saying?
His family
His
and
motto.
long-term survival over ego and street pride.
It's up to the judge to give me credit for my anger monitor. But it's up to God to get to that judge, man. You know what I mean?
It's a fact.
I'm ready for whatever, player. Like I'm built like this, player. Like I told you. Gonna be free.
Philosophical acceptance in his
Goofy ass, they ain't glad ain't never been to prison.
Even as uncertainty looms over his future.
I'm sending my ass to jail.
You ain't never been to jail or prison, bitch.
That's all that be.
Well, I mean, you've done it before. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Right? This is not me in front of the camera. I've never seen a gun on the coffee table.
As November 21st, 2025,
Yeah, you sound like a fucking bozo.
holding its breath, waiting
On that coffee table.
its most authentic and resilient. District Judge Kathy Bensavengo
Man,
will
Vlad a
have
hoe. He
the
owed me before. He gave me a copyright strike before, bitch.
2-year sentence or something closer to the 15-year maximum.
Yeah,
saying
this
this
the
all the
first
time.
time I've ever had a judge who I would say
Fair.
is fair. Judges always stuck it to me.
Do you think it's because this judge is in California as opposed to Louisiana? Because you've always had Louisiana judges, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Louisiana don't give a fuck about Boosie. They don't give a fuck about nobody, to be
Might
honest.
finally be the fair shake
Damn sure don't give a fuck about Boosie.
throughout his legal career. Whether November 21st, 2025,
You judges don't like us where we from?
Badaz's run in the streets or just another chapter in his incredible story of survival remains to be seen. What's certain is that his journey from the Baton Rouge projects to federal courtrooms
Baton
in San
Rouge.
Diego represents one of the most compelling narratives in modern hip-hop history. A story of raw talent, street credibility, tragedy, and ultimately the human capacity to endure even when the odds are stacked against you. If you enjoyed watching this video, then go.
Yeah, I ain't gonna cap, nigga. I'll be mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the feds, which they do, keep on fucking with a nigga, but like over and over, like they always fuck with everybody. You know what I'm saying? They fuck with me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, at a certain amount of time, nigga, us black people need to come together and go against this shit, because this is nah, bro.
We didn't suffer. I know how them kids suffer.
Y'all making ills off our back.
And people don't understand it. I was on death row, finna get a needle in my arm because of rat, bro.
Boosie has been through a lot with the system, and it seems like it's far from over. The rapper is back in prison, and new footage of him in jail just dropped, and he does not look good. According to fans, the system is really out to get him, and the details prove it. Let me break it down. From the block to federal court, real recognized real, and when word hit the streets that Boosie Badazz, one of the realest to ever spit bars about that struggle life, had copped a federal plea that might send him upstate for 2 years, the whole hood felt that pain.
So about 2 years? Okay, I thought about 5 years. I thought it was 5 years.
Day in the life.
2 years ain't that bad. He might, if it's only 2 years.
2023. Boosie was out in San Diego handling his.
If it's only 2 years, he get out in like a month. Not at least a month. A year, 6 months. If it's 2 years.
The type of hustle that keep the lights on.
I think he get out in 6 months to a year.
Kids, but the streets
It's only 2
always
years.
watching.
It's 5 years.
So is the law.
I give
What
him a year
happened
or
next is
two.
some straight big
But it's
brother
only 2
type
years, about
surveillance that
6
should
months.
have every street
2
being
years.
shook. San Diego police was monitoring the Instagram live of some known neighborhood Crip gang member when they peeped Boosie with a black piece tucked in his waistband during the video shoot. Think about that for a second. The police literally stalking social media like some creepy ex waiting for somebody to
Yeah, wait for some bullshit.
For a second, the police literally stalking social media like some creepy ex waiting for somebody to slip up on live.
I guess, look, all the years, I've known you for like 20 years now, right? And I've never seen a gun around you.
Right.
I'm being honest.
Right.
This is not me in front of the camera. I've never seen a gun on the coffee table. I've never seen it tucked in. Nothing.
Right.
The response was some movie-type drama that shows how deep the system willing to go when they want you. They called in a whole helicopter and airborne law enforcement to track the black Mercedes SUV Boosie was riding in, then pulled them over claiming they ran a red light. When they ran down on the whip, they found 2 loaded pieces, a Glock and a Hellcat. Boosie tried to keep it solid for his security, saying one of the straps belonged to his mans, but the prosecutors wasn't hearing none of that. Here's where it gets even more federal. Prosecutors later revealed that Boosie had caught both burners in Georgia and flew with them to San Diego on a Delta flight that same day, which gave them that interstate commerce angle they needed to make it a federal case. At first, this looked like it was going to stay local. Boosie caught some state charges from the San Diego County District Attorney, possession of a piece by a prohibited person, carrying.
I wonder why he doesn't let the security guards, you know what I'm saying, really
prohibited person
bring
and
the
having
gun.
an unregistered joint. His legal team was confident they could work out some probation deal, keep their client out the pen. But June 14th, 2023 was when the feds showed they play chess while everybody else playing checkers. The state charges got dismissed in San Diego County Superior Court, and Boosie probably thought he was walking out a free man. Instead, soon as he stepped foot outside that courtroom, federal agents was waiting to snatch him up on that felon in possession charge.
The state case was dropped, and I don't know where the feds picked it up.
Now, it was a state case. The feds came, picked it up.
This federal pickup had Boosie's legal team heated from the jump. His attorney, Megan Blanco, came out swinging, saying the feds violated their own petite policy about not prosecuting the same offense twice. Attorney Damon Alamori kept it 100, suggesting that Boosie's habit of speaking real on social media about the criminal justice system might have painted a target on his back. The whole federal case was built on some cold reality. Boosie's 2011 marijuana possession conviction made him a prohibited person under federal law, meaning he couldn't legally touch a burner. Now think about how wild that is. A man catching a nonviolent weed case over a decade ago, now facing 15 years in the federal pen for exercising what most folks consider a constitutional right to bear arms. The judge hit Boosie with a $100,000 bond, but now he was playing in federal court where the rules different and the stakes much higher. This wasn't some county jail overnight stay. This was about potentially losing the next decade and a half of his life. But sometimes the universe throw you a bone when you least expect it. July 2024 brought some unexpected hope when U.S. District Judge Kathy Ann Bencivengo dismissed the federal gun charge, citing a 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruling in the case of Stephen Shorty Duarte that said banning nonviolent felons from having guns was unconstitutional under the Second Amendment.
They had a ruling in the Supreme Court that went in my favor, and the case got dropped by the judge. The case got dropped.
The celebration was real and raw. Boosie got emotional outside the courthouse, telling reporters 90% of people thought I was going to prison, but God had a different plan. He celebrated by cutting off his ankle monitor and jumping in a pool at San Diego's Sycuan Casino Resort, showing the world that real ones bounce back from adversity. But the feds wasn't done playing games. Less than 2 weeks later, U.S. Attorney Tara McGrath's office came back with that work, re-indicting Boosie on 2 counts: possession of a piece by a felon in interstate commerce and knowingly having a burner while using controlled
these niggas be knowing who the fuck these niggas be
They went
doing
up
this
there with
shit.
the Supreme Court ruling, and they won on the Supreme Court ruling. Now it was back again.
A bigger panel of the 9th Circuit came through and overturned the Duarte ruling, saying the federal ban on felons having guns was constitutional after all. Just like that, Boosie's brief taste of freedom got snatched away. The re-indictment was extra grimy because they added a new drug-related gun charge that carried up to 10 years, stacked on top of the 15-year max for the felon in possession charge. Boosie took to social media to express his frustration, calling out what he saw as prosecutorial overreach and straight-up racism. This whole transformation from a local case that might have gotten probation to a federal prosecution with potential decades behind bars shows exactly how the system worked when they want to destroy you. The message was crystal clear. When the federal government got you in their crosshairs, they're going to find every angle to put you under the jail. The use of Instagram live surveillance, helicopter tracking, and snatching him up right after the state dismissed charges. All of this shows a level of resources and determination that goes way beyond what regular citizens face for similar situations. This is about sending a message to every street dude who made it out the hood, but still keep it real about where they came from. To understand why Boosie Badass finally threw in the towel and copped that federal plea in 2025, we gotta dive deep into his history with the system. This wasn't some first-time offender getting jammed up. This was a street veteran who had already been through the fire and came out scarred but still breathing. His past battles with the law shaped every move he made in this latest beef with the feds.
And that's why they mad.
When keeping it real goes federal, Boosie's criminal past is the breaking point. Boosie's journey through the criminal justice system started when he was just a young bull running the streets of Baton Rouge. Growing up on West Garfield Street in some of the roughest projects Louisiana had to offer, Boosie got expelled from McKinley High School for drug-related activities while he was still a teenager. The streets had their hooks in him early, and like so many young brothers from the hood, he was moving work and catching minor cases before he could even legally drink. But 2009 was when things got real serious. Boosie caught a 4-year sentence on drug and gun possession charges, the type of bid that can break a man's spirit or make him stronger. While he was locked up, fighting that case and trying to keep his music career alive from behind bars, the streets had other plans for him. October 2010 brought the kind of charges that can end everything. Not just your career, but your life. While still locked up, Boosie got hit with a first-degree murder indictment for the alleged murder-for-hire killing of Terry Boyd in 2009. The prosecution claimed Boosie paid some young soldier named Michael Marlowe Mike Louding $2,800 to body Boyd over some disrespect.
$2,800 is
Boyd had
insane.
sent Boosie some letter talking
That's some money.
about jacking and slapping
jewelry.
him, and Boosie couldn't let that slide.
Off you what?
Principal.
What's that?
At least give me 10K.
Principal of first degree murder.
What does that mean?
Principal mean like.
At least give me 10 to 20K. Let me at least get a bus pass and get to move the fuck off somewhere.
Foundation. Their star witness was Michael Loudon,
We set up a little bit.
snitched on Boosie, but then flipped his script, claiming the police coerced him with threats about the death penalty and putting his family in cages. They also pointed to Loudon's tattoo of an AK-47 with Yo Boosie, who's next, that he got 2 weeks after the murder as some kind of smoking gun. Most foul of all, the prosecutors tried to use
That's
Boosie's own bars
insane.
against him, citing lyrics from songs like 187 Inches and Body Bag that were allegedly recorded the night of the murder as evidence of his mindset. This is some dangerous precedent that affects every rapper who ever
Well, I know
street
Boosie
bars,
made it,
turning
bitch. The
artistic
grace of God,
expression
bitch.
into criminal evidence. The system tried to
Nigga.
break him with a deal.
And what was the time that they're offering?
I think it was like 15, but they were running concurrent, so I had like 5 left.
You didn't take it though.
But Boosie kept it solid and trusted his legal team.
Okay. Crip.
How hard was that decision? Because 5
No,
years.
at all. My lawyer already told me they was beat.
Okay.
My lawyer whooped, bro. It's whooped. I just gotta run it by you. It's whooped.
Right, because it actually went to a jury verdict.
Yeah.
And all 12 jurors said,
Not guilty.
When that jury came back in May 2012, it was swift justice.
how did that feel?
It was one of the best days of my life.
The jury deliberated for about 35 minutes and found Boosie not guilty of first-degree murder. That's how weak the prosecution's case really was.
I mean, I got found guilty in 36 minutes. Not guilty in 36 minutes.
Oh, that's an open and shut case.
But even beating a murder rap couldn't save him from the other charges. While he was locked up, they hit him with additional charges for allegedly running a drug operation inside Louisiana's Angola prison, adding more time to his sentence and keeping him caged until March 2014. The psychological trauma from those years runs deep.
How many times have you been told on? By somebody you knew?
Probably twice.
Twice. Did either one of those lead to convictions?
No.
Thank God.
No.
Okay, so
All my convictions are. Oh, yes, it did. Yes, it did.
but this is probably why it hits you a little bit deeper than everyone else.
Yeah.
You've gotten told on that led. How long was the conviction?
8 years.
The pain in his voice when he talks about snitches is real because it's personal.
My cousin was taken away. Life at 15 years old because someone corroborated. My uncle was taken away in the 80s. We didn't suffer. I know how them kids suffer. And people don't understand that I was on death row, finna get a needle in my fucking arm because of rats.
Being on death row while fighting for your life changes a man forever. The financial cost is just as devastating as the emotional toll.
Man, I had to do parole on that conviction. 4 year, 5 year parole when I got out.
When you look at where your career is right now,
nothing else. If you
didn't have to sit down for 5.5 years, do you think you'd be farther along?
Hell yeah. I'd be rich as
right, because you lost your house.
I lost everything.
You lost everything.
I lost everything. I lost my house. I lost everything. I came back with nothing.
This history explains everything about how Boosie approached the 2023 federal gun case when you've already stared death in the face, spent years on death row, lost everything you worked for, and had to rebuild from nothing. You develop a different relationship with risk and reward. By August 2025, after 3 years of fighting the feds, watching the case get dismissed and then refiled, seeing them add bogus charges and threaten him with decades in prison, Boosie reached his limit. He took to X and kept it 100 with his fans. Just accepted a plea from the federal government on my gun case. I thought this case was over and I was going to get on with my life, but God don't make mistakes, and I'm tired of fighting. Talk to my family, and this is the right decision. The exhaustion in those words hit differently.
Yeah, Boosie gonna take that plea deal.
He played a
Come out swinging, you know what I'm saying? Let the
How do you
motherfucker
feel about the sentencing that's coming up?
I just told you I trust in God. That's how I feel. I feel like God because my mama got on my ass the other day and told me, cause my mom, they heavy on God.
His mother's intervention was powerful, calling him out for seeking political help instead of trusting in divine intervention.
Stop asking important. You taking your faith out. You taking your faith out of God. You ask God to put faith in a man. Stop asking a man. Stop asking people. I could have appealed that, but that'll be 2-3
more
years.
They don't give a fuck about us, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just.
All we got is God, Yahweh.
I wasn't gonna go to trial with it,
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna go to trial with it from the dump actually, but I feel like this the right move for me.
The plea deal was actually a victory considering what he was facing. A recommended 2-year sentence with 3 years of supervised release instead of the 15-year maximum. Even better, prosecutors agreed not to seek a monetary fine because of Boosie's limited financial prospects. The man who once refused a 15-year plea deal on a murder charge had learned the value of strategic surrender. Sometimes staying free to fight another day is better than risking everything. The streets taught him how to survive, but his experience taught him to crash out over these clowns. Beefs, controversies, and the road ahead. While Boosie
when he crash out on these clowns, man, let them think they won. Come back better than ever, bitch. On their ass, bitch.
Legal troubles might have been front-page news, but his ongoing beefs and controversial statements kept him in the headlines.
He got a lawsuit with his brother. He get out, get that lawsuit finished. He up.
Crucial to understand all the drama
against Blue.
Following the street legend. The most vicious and personal war Boosie's been fighting isn't with prosecutors. It's with Charleston White, an internet troll who's made destroying
super internet troll.
This ain't just regular hip-hop.
I think this nigga might have been the first Uncle Ruckus nigga. Now I think about it, man.
Every line of decency.
Lil Mike was the nigga. He killed 9 black people, my nigga, before he even got 16 years old.
That's crazy.
But you know what? That kid watched somebody die when he was a baby, and he remembered the murder. And that kid also suffered with mental health. And Lil Boosie running around here talking like he tough in the motherfucker.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy.
Got a 16-year-old kid with life without parole.
Charleston White's attacks on Boosie are straight demonic. This clout-chasing clown has accused Boosie of threatening a Baton Rouge club promoter to stop White from performing in Boosie City, claiming he called the FBI about alleged threats on his life. But it gets way more personal and cruel than that. White consistently mocks.
Charleston White be right on some of his topics. It's like a broken clock can be right 2 times out of a day. You know what I'm saying? But a bunch of the bullshit is bullshit.
Behavior, trying to profit off another man's health struggles. When Boosie announced his plea deal, White's response was beyond disrespectful.
Matter of fact, right now, Father God, in the name of Jesus, I pray Boosie get at least 36 months, God. Father God, he done gotten away too many times. You done gave him too many chances, Lord. Every knee go bowed, every tongue go confess. Boosie knee ain't bowed yet, God, because he still upholds the world and the streets and the same thing that you are against sexual lust and perversion, God.
This snake
Charleston White
to the federal judge trying to give Boosie the maximum sentence, bringing up
Charleston White, you not acting like you. Why you act like you holier than thou?
That's some
You
next
a
level hate
clown.
that goes beyond anything resembling normal.
He act like he holier than thou. He, like I said, he got cut points, but like, bruh, look at yourself.
Handled Charleston White permanently, but Boosie's been showing remarkable restraint, probably because he knows his legal situation.
But I guess that
I don't need no apology.
I know you don't need an apology, but I felt that if I had the chance to do that, I would at least try. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
But Charleston White isn't Boosie's only problem when it comes to public controversies. His stance on LGBTQ+ issues has created some major public relations disasters that have damaged his reputation beyond the hood. Back in February 2020, Boosie went off on Zaya Wade, NBA star Wade's transgender daughter, during an Instagram live session, telling Wade not to let his child transition. He was talking reckless about a child, which crossed major lines and had people calling him transphobic. In October 2021, he went even harder.
But what's the point of having your kid cut off his dick
rapper to kill
at a
himself
little age? They thought that nigga be from 21 to 18, nigga. Didn't do it. That was like 16, 15.
And had the LGBTQ+ community ready for it.
Gay or
Most
trans.
recently, in January 2024, Boosie caught heat for walking out of the Color Purple movie because it showed lesbian relationships. He had to protect his daughters from seeing it. People called out the hypocrisy since his own music sexualizes women-loving women when it benefits his male fans. These controversies have had real consequences in the streets and in business. In March 2025, Planet Fitness banned Boosie from their gyms because of his transphobic comments about Zaya Wade, showing that his words have cost him money and access. The most painful part is how this affects his own family. His daughter Poison Ivy came out as lesbian in 2023, and Boosie publicly said on Vlad TV that her sexuality wasn't accepted in their Southern Baptist family. Imagine being rejected by your own pops for being who you are. That's some deep trauma right there. But despite all the controversies, or maybe because of them, Boosie has maintained a loyal fan base that respects his authenticity.
I mean, what it is, you know what I'm saying? It's his kid.
Boosie has stayed true to his beliefs,
Yeah,
even when
it's
it
his
cost
kid.
him money and opportunity. As November 21st, 2025,
They said that they were trying to promote him to go to gay parties.
everyone's mind
He
is
turned
what's
them niggas
next for
down.
the Baton Rouge
Real
legend.
nigga.
The federal
Nigga, why we go to a
plea
fucking
deal
gay
recommends a
club
2-year bid
with
3 years
niggas
of supervised release.
dancing to my
Several
shit?
factors
Hell
could
nah.
influence what actually happens. Boosie's lawyer Megan Blanco is pushing for leniency, highlighting his charitable work and community contributions, hoping the judge might give him probation instead of prison time. The judge will consider his community involvement, including the Caleb Wilson Memorial Scholarship and his responsibilities as a father to 9 kids. But the federal system don't play games, and his past criminal history plus ongoing controversies could work against him. The prosecutors in his case have been ruthless from day one, and they're probably pushing for him to do the full 2 years.
I don't know. It's up to the judge to give me credit for my anger monitor.
Exactly.
It's up to the judge to give me credit for my anger monitor.
If Boosie does have to do that bid, his career blueprint is already written. When he came home in 2014 after doing 5 years, he signed with Atlantic Records and dropped Touchdown 2 Cause Hell 2015, which debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200. That album proved that prison couldn't kill his fan base's loyalty. His recent album, Words of a Real One, August 2025, shows he's still creatively sharp even while fighting federal charges. The street's been eating off that project, and it positions him perfectly for whatever comes next. The hip-hop community has been showing love throughout this whole ordeal. Fans on social media have been flooding his posts with support. Stay strong, Boosie, and we got you, showing that real recognize real. That type of loyalty is priceless in this industry where people switch up quick. But the game is changing, and Boosie's old school views might not fit with the younger, more progressive generation of hip-hop fans. His anti-LGBTQ+ stance puts him at odds with where the culture is heading, potentially limiting his mainstream crossover appeal.
Low key, because you know, these days, everybody on some weird shit these days, man.
Content about Boosie's family while he's locked up, which means the drama will continue even if Boosie's behind bars.
And they got people from the feds calling me, blowing me up right now from everywhere, bro. When you coming up here? We just heard the news. I ain't even in jail, dog.
Do you sell, mate?
That's what I be saying, man.
Sign up.
Got a bag waiting on you.
I told you, nigga, I be saying, nigga, they be bored. The police, they be bored. So they like, damn, let's go get some niggas who gonna turn this shit back up. Let's bring these niggas into jail. Us rappers and shit into jail so get this shit lit. It's too boring in jail. Nigga, what? It's too boring in jail. Let's bring us some of these rappers and get this shit lit. Yeah. Nigga, we don't want to go to jail, get y'all niggas lit. We ain't get no private shows for y'all niggas. They gotta pay us. They want us to go to jail and rap for these niggas and get this shit lit. Get private shows and shit. Cause that's what I was doing. I was in jail rapping with them niggas. I was rapping to them niggas. They like, they lit as hell with me. I was in jail rapping with them niggas. They lit as hell. They go Kevin 2 turn. I was rapping in that bitch going crazy.
Boosie Badass has already proven that real ones survive whatever the system throws at them. His story is bigger than just one federal gun case. It's about how a young brother from the projects turned pain into profit, street knowledge into chart success, and never forgot where he came from, even when it cost him everything. Whether he's home or behind bars, the influence of that Baton Rouge realness will continue to inspire the next generation of artists who refuse to compromise their truth for mainstream acceptance. The game needs more soldiers like Boosie, rappers who keep it 100 regardless of the consequences. As he faces whatever comes next, one thing is certain: the streets will always respect authenticity over everything else, and Boosie Badass embodies that principle like few others in the history of hip-hop. Like this video? Don't forget to explore.
So y'all see from that bitch, man, that I feel like it does be a lot of people who just got beef for rappers, man. Like Boosie don't even respond to Charleston White. But Charleston White just got something to say about Boosie every time, bruh. It's like Charleston White have good points sometimes, but I feel like he a sellout. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he let the money on do the talking. You know what I'm saying? He'll crash out on some shit and say the most wildest shit for the money on. But in other instances, he'll have good like moments. But like I said, man, I don't fuck with Charleston White like that because I feel like he bring a lot of people down sometimes who are going through shit. But like I said, man, every coon sometimes have good points. You know what I'm saying? Also, like Boosie going through what he going through, man. You know, he got family, he got kids. You know what I'm saying? And you know, his career. You know what I'm saying? What he been through. You know, we already done lost a lot of people. Why keep on fucking niggas over? You know what I'm saying? And the dog incident, like I said, man. Nigga need some real ones in that bitch, man. But like I said, it's a good video. Make sure you like, subscribe. We out the bitch hood. And I'll start big crip in the game. That's all shit.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. Even though this is an instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.